Pinarello. Hey guys, what's up? If you're watching this, I guess you're interested in the Pinarello X for the 2025 model, so check it out. So today, right behind me is a Pinarello X7, which is actually loaned to me by Pinarello Malaysia, because I was quite curious, I've been cycling for 8 years and always, as cyclists, we always want the fastest bike, the road bike, the racing bike, all the bikes that is like, we want to go aero, fast, lightweight and everything. But is that the right bike for us? And I got curious. Maybe I should try an endurance bike for once. So then Pinarello asked me if I was interested to try with the X7, and the X7 is actually their Pinarello X series, which is the endurance bike with a very high geometry stacked, and it's meant for comfort and long cycling distance. And I say, okay, let's give it a try. And here it is. I'm going to tell you what's my take about it, and I'm going to run through the spec of this bike. So this Pinarello X7 is actually the 2025 model series, and this is the new color. And if you're wondering, the difference between the 2025 and 2024 is actually the wheel set. The wheel set for the 2024 is at 40mm depth. This is at 45mm depth. And generally for the X7 series, it retails at 29,000 ringgit, and it comes with Ultegra Di2 12-speed, which is really good because I think Dura Ace, if you have the money, is meant for flashy, but in practical terms, I always feel that Ultegra is probably the good set to go for. The tire clearance for this is 35mm, and rightfully so, it comes with the Pirelli P7 Sport, which is also a 35mm carbon wheel set, 45 ultra light fast 45mm depth for the front and the rear, and obviously it can fit up to 35mm tires, and it comes with the very nice Mose handlebar, which is the ultra light handlebar, and I can tell you this is one of the most comfortable handlebar I've ever used, period. The grip, the handle is just so nice, and it also comes with the bar tape, which is also from Mose. Really good bar tape. I can see why people are into Pinarello. They really give good stuff in their bike overall. And of course, it comes with the Aero seat post. Aero seat post meaning it's at the sharp at the front and truncated flat at the back to have optimized aerodynamic. And what else can I talk about it? It doesn't come with a bottle cage. This bottle cage is actually my old bottle cage, so I set it up here. I think been cycling for so many years. One thing I realized is this, something that we sometimes just take it for granted because we just want to get the fastest, the best bike. But I can tell you up front, probably that's the wrong bike for you. After riding on the Pinarello X, I feel that this could be the bike that is a long-term keeper, in the sense that when I started cycling this, it being the first very compliant bike, because if you notice one thing about the geometry of this bike, it is very short here, which your reach is going to be significantly reduced. Instead of having a long and arrow reach, it's going to be a bit shorter, where my arms is a bit closer to me, and it's a very tall stack height compared to other bike geometry. So it being a tall stack, meaning generally it's going to be angled closer to you. And also the axis here, I don't know if you can see, but the axis here, like if you push a trolley cart, it'll automatically align back as you push straight the shopping trolley cart. And the way this bike handles is, because the angle of the fork towards the touching point of this wheel is slightly longer, it autos center the wheel. It's so compliant that when I cycle, it's so little effort for me to straighten the line of the bike. I feel as soon as I pedal, it just goes straight. This is very important for long distance cycling, because when you are on a race bikes are a bit more twitchy in terms of handling, everything's different, and you use more energy, more mental strength, and more balance requirement just to keep your bike going straight. You might not feel it, but when you cycle between an endurance bike and a road racing bike, race bike, a full-fledged aero race bike, you will feel the difference. And when I use this bike, the first thing I notice is it straightens and it goes on a straight line much easier than all my other race bike I've used, especially aero bikes. And this allows me to feel a bit more relaxed. It's not so stressful overall for my brain, for my mind, for my balance, for my body. So that's one of the biggest difference I feel using this endurance bike. This is one of the most stable bike ever, man. And of course, Pinarello is famous for its aerodynamic. If you look at it, how the frame, the fork and everything is designed exactly like a Dogma X to a certain extent, right? But it's definitely much heavier than weight is at 8.4 kilos. This is not a light bike, okay, because it's using the Tourer 900 and not the bigger, I think over 1,000 Tourers that's the X is using. Because it's built for compliance. It's something that you will appreciate. When I ride this bike, because of the handling, how it goes on a straight line, it's so easy to ride without hands. I'm probably one of the clumsiest cyclists in the world, and when I cycle this, it's so easy to ride, and I can put both hands at my back, and it just goes straight. I have so much confidence in going straight without my hands on the handlebar compared to my other race bikes that I have, and it shows that this bike handling on a straight line is so good. But that doesn't mean that when I take corners it's a bit difficult. One thing I noticed about using this bike, going downhill is so confident because of the control. I feel that the control is not as twitchy. I can go faster with a bit more controlled pace. One thing I also noticed that when I'm leaning onto the bike, it turns better. So instead of just turning with the hands, right, leaning the body and everything, does make the bike handle a bit more interesting. So it's definitely a more interesting bike to ride compared to other more racing geometry bikes I've tested. So if I would compare generally between a race bike, and I've never tried the Dogma X before, but if I compare it with whatever race bike I have, this bike goes straighter, is more comfortable and everything, but it's also, I do feel that it's a bit slower. I do feel that in terms of the responsiveness, the livelihood, being alive on a bike, this doesn't feel as alive as the other race bike, but it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be like an excited Jack Russell dog. It's not meant to be hyperactive little kid with sugar high Coca-Cola, fat in the morning, all those kind of stuff. It's meant to just bring you at the most relaxed way for long range cycling, and this makes perfect sense. It absorbs the road vibration so well. It reminds me a lot on like riding on a titanium bike, which is very compliant. And what else can I talk about it? Also, if you look at the geometry of Pinarello, which is really famous for, is that the arching top here. The arching top here allows you to have a bigger space around here, which allows really compliant flex, which increase the comfort of the bike overall. So see the huge space here, compliant. Now walk through the bike with you. So this is the bike computer, which is the most, and I find it really good because not only it comes, currently I have fitted the Wahoo bike computer mount, and actually if you go to the accessories, they do come, which is his talent. They do come with the Garmin and also Brighton, which I find really good because a lot of bike computers only come with Garmin by default. At the back is the 140mm rotor. At the front is a 160mm rotor. So this is where all the magic happen, which is why I call the X series bike X-Stays. This part is the X-Stays, where it's actually a Pinarello technology where this part actually absorbs all the vibration and still make it really stiff. So I bet this is where the comfort really comes from. Comes with the Tourer 900 UD carbon fiber, and the size I have is 515, which is unfortunately a bit too big for me. But it's alright, this is what they have right now for me to test, and I can still work it out. Love that handlebar, it's really good. One of the best handlebar I've ever used. So if you buy this bike brand new, it comes with all this accessory, of course the standard reflectors and all, and it comes with all this other safety accessories. The spacers, there's actually a little additional silver paint for touch-up, I assume. And one of the cool thing, of course, you have the Shimano Ultegra charger cable, but the cool thing is this. There is a warranty card. We create your dream bike, and this is the warranty card. Oops, upside down, let me flip it up. So this warranty card, if you register, it comes default 2 years warranty, but it comes extended up to 5 years warranty, and also a crash replacement, which you can get discount once you register, which is really good. This is my biggest complaint of the bike, which is actually the way I can loosen the seat post, which is this little plug here. When I unplug here, it's so deep, the hole here, for me to put in my which is a star screw. Most of the tools that we buy, like for example I have this Topic one, the general star shape screw that we have is the, what size is that? The T25. Yeah, so T25 is something that's pretty common that we get from our bike toolkit, bike kit, but it doesn't fit for this. This one uses weird number, which is the T15, so I have to use other parts, other tools that I have at home, and when I put it in, look at it, it's angled in such a steep way, which means that I need to use a very specific T15 screwdriver to use this, a stick by itself. So I cannot use all this multi-tool, because if I do use a multi-tool, look, it just doesn't fit. It'll be scratching your frame. So that is one of the biggest challenge I had, and thank goodness I have actually a T15 Allen key up in my toolbox. But if it wasn't for that, I would not be able to adjust this. So yeah, bear in mind this. If you're getting a Pinarello X, get a specific T15 screw. The tool aside, it is not the worst thing, honestly, because at about 29,000 ringgit, just because of a little problem with the seat post thing, I think it's something that we can just get a tool and have it in our bag. So it's quite a small problem overall. But I would say for the price of 29,000 ringgit, this is actually a very, very good bike to get, mainly because when it comes to comfort, I've honestly never ridden any bike as comfortable as this. Maybe I don't ride enough bike, but if you're considering to get a Pinarello X, I feel it's a good deal, mainly for the price. Nowadays, most bikes are not cheap. Honestly, what is cheap nowadays? Sadly. It's quite a gentle sound, not too bad. It's a bit coarse. So, Pinarello X, if you do get this, like I said, get the T15 dedicated tool, if can, a torque wrench that can fit inside there. And honestly speaking, this bike is a dream to ride. Honestly, going straight is just superb. The closest ride quality I have to this is really a titanium bike, or maybe the Stork Airfast Generation 1, because the Stork Airfast Generation 1 has a tall stack as well. And of course, I hope this video helps you. If it does, share, like, subscribe. God bless you, and hope to see you on the road.